Hello to everybody watching, committed to making better feminist futures. I am Joy Buolamwini, a poet of code, telling stories that make daughters of diasporas dream and sons of privilege pause. I am also the founder of the Algorithmic Justice League, where we're building a world with more equitable, accountable, and just artificial intelligence. We're on a mission to fight something I call the coded gaze. Like the male gaze and the white gaze or the post-colonial gaze, the coded gaze is a reflection of those who have the power and privilege to shape the technologies that shape our societies. I encountered the coded gaze while working on a class project at MIT that used face detection. To get the project to work, I put on a white mask over my dark skin to be detected by a machine. This experience of coding in white face led me to ask, are machines really neutral? And what we continue to see is not so much. As algorithmic systems are infiltrating our lives, determining if your grandmother has access to health care, the grades our children receive, and even if you're judged worthy of a job, headlines remind us that many forms of discrimination, like racism, sexism, ableism, and more, are being mechanized. Think of an ism, and it's likely being embedded into AI. No one is immune, yet those most marginalized, the X-coded, are being impacted by algorithms that propagate systemic oppression the most. We see this with the wrongful arrest of Robert Williams in front of his 2 young daughters linked to facial recognition misidentification. We see this with the botched Amazon hiring model that routinely deprioritized resumes from women. We see this with trans drivers being locked out of economic opportunity when Uber algorithmic verification fails. Given all of this, to fight for the X-coded, the Algorithmic Justice League uses a blend of art and research to illuminate and fight algorithmic harms. Through poetry, we ask, can machines ever see my queens as I view them? Can machines ever see our grandmothers as we knew them? Ida B. Wells, data science pioneer, hanging facts, stacking stats on the lynching of humanity, teaching truths hidden in data, each entry and omission, a person worthy of respect. Shirley Chisholm, unbought and unbossed, the first Black Congresswoman, but not the first to be misidentified by machines well-versed in data-driven mistakes. Michelle Obama, unabashed and unafraid to wear her crown of history. Yet her crown seems a mystery to systems unsure of her hair. A wig, a bouffant, a toupee, maybe not. Are there no words for our braids and our locks? The sunny skin and relaxed hair make Oprah the first lady? Even for her face well known, some algorithms fault her, echoing sentiments that strong women are men. We laugh, celebrating the successes of our sisters with serena smiles. No label is worthy of our beauty. And in addition to the poetry, through our research, we apply intersectional analysis. We assess the matrix of domination as we see algorithmic discrimination reloaded. And we have shown racial and gender bias in AI from some of the largest tech companies in the world. Feminist Futures for AI must underscore that if you have a face, you have a place in the conversation about technologies that govern our lives. Through our advocacy, we work with communities on the front line, like the Brooklyn tenants who successfully defeated the installation of an unwanted face surveillance system. In the documentary Coded Bias on Netflix, their fight, along with the work of the Algorithmic Justice League and many others, is featured. And I want to close with a few lines from a poem I wrote to honor the tenants led by courageous women and people of color who stood up to power and won. To the Brooklyn tenants and freedom fighters around the world, resisting and revealing the lie that we must accept the surrender of our faces, the harvesting of our data, the plunder of our traces, we celebrate your courage. No silence, no consent. You show the path to algorithmic justice requires a league, a sisterhood, a neighborhood, 21 for 21 visions for feminist futures, your visions. Petitions and potlucks, platforms like the Meteor, everyone chiming in to orchestrate change. The fight for algorithmic justice is the fight for gender equality. You cannot have gender equality in the age of AI without algorithmic justice. We cannot have racial justice without algorithmic justice. We cannot have disability justice without algorithmic justice. We choose feminist futures where data is not destiny, where your hue is not a cue for machines to dismiss your humanity, where the legacies and hopes of the freedom fighters past and present birth the place where the dreams of daughters of diasporas come through and come true.